All right, we're back. Did a little side test in another match after resetting the software, and things seem to be working. So let's jump right back in. I can't always expect to have the matches go as well as the last one. That one did seem to be a bit uneven, so let's see if we've got a more even match this time. Alright, we've got a Fatal Push for turn 1, a Doomfall for turn 3, and then a Karn. I think this is good. Again, if we're playing against a control list, the Fatal Push is a dead card. That's the one real problem with no sideboard builds of this, is that if you're playing against a control list, which we clearly are, then you just have a certain number of dead cards in your hand. So all I can really do here is just attack the hand and just try to get whatever I can out of there. 2 disallows. Oh, that's a nightmare. Well, I mean, I guess I'll grab one of them. But that does mean that whatever decent spell I play next, he's going to counter it. So all I can really hope is to grab my own discard spell or something to cast other than this Karn, because I really don't want to see... Oh, well, I guess second Karn is okay. So he's clearly going to disallow it, and that's fine. But assuming he doesn't draw a second counterspell, well, third, then we get to resolve the Karn this turn, and, well, that's pretty good. So let's see. Did he do it? Good to see. And we will go ahead and dig. That was a little suboptimal tapping. I obviously should not have left the Cabal Stronghold as my only untapped source. He's going to give me the cast down because he has nothing that's a target for it. So I think what I'm going to have to do this turn is likely tick down to get the Eldest Reborn, so that then I can force him to sacrifice. Oh, well, that's just unfortunate. Well, but I can still do it again. It's a question of which I would rather do. I know he's got this Seal Away, so it's a question of do I want the Karn? Well, won't be till next turn anyway. Let's go ahead and cast Demon Lord Belzenlok. Draw some cards. Alright, doing pretty well on the card front. So one of the things I have to ask myself is how likely is he to have a counterspell in hand? I mean, I assume he'd commit with the intention of being able to counter the Karn on the way back down. It's got 4, still not quite at the point of being able to flip search. So I can go ahead and try Karn. Now let's see, if he's got Seal Away is 2, he can almost certainly do both. So the question is, which is more important to me? If I do this for 7, then he would drop all 4 of his cards, sacrifice that, and take a little bit of damage, or it would force him to have a counter. I think I'm going to force him to have the counter. So this forces him to have the counter, and then to use it on this, which then lets me next turn be able to hopefully get down Karn. Okay, well, he's going to he can seal it away. The question is, do I let him do it? I don't really see the benefit of it, especially since potentially next turn I could draw a discard spell to force him to discard it. And again, here comes Teferi. Is he going to tuck Demon Lord? He pretty much has to at this point. Oh no, he can draw and then leave up the Seal Away. So I think what I do here is I Cabal Stronghold, Mastermind's Acquisition, Mastermind's Acquisition for a Doomfall. And I will cast Doomfall. He's got lots of stuff here. So he's got Double Seal Away, Fumigate, and Torrential Gearhulk. Well, that's just unfortunate. So I think at this point I probably grab the Fumigate. And then I drop the Karn. Take up with Karn.
Until you have lived as a statue, do not all the choices we make reveal who you are.
And stay back. So I probably should have gone ahead and done that to have it for next turn, but I can still do it. I can still grab the Eldritch Reborn and cast it next turn. Oh, he's smart enough to grab my Karn. He saw that coming. So that was bad of me. But, well, we live, we learn. So the unfortunate thing is, I've given him now the opportunity to do quite a few little things here. He has the opportunity to memory, to draw a whole new set of cards. But he's probably afraid of doing that because he's so close to death. Second search. This one I think is about ready for flipping. Oh, unfortunate. So I can attack in the hopes that he would do something else, but I don't see why he would. I mean, I guess he could potentially settle. That could be what he's going for, but I don't see any reason to give him the option. I think at this point I just have to just keep drawing in hopes of getting to my Belzenmock, which, you know, as has been said, you know, why win on one turn when you can win 7 turns later? Okay. Tapping his lands in advance of being able to untap them. And back to my turn. Alright, so I've got Karn. I don't think there's any reason to assume. I guess we can just cast it. If he's got a counter, he's got a counter. Okay. He's got a counter. And that's fine. Alright, and then we'll just go ahead and cast down the Torrential Gearhulk, because why not? We're not likely going to have a better target here.
Please stop.
Well, this is just unfortunate. So, I do think I played right in casting, in finding my, looking back here, I think I played right casting my Mastermind's Acquisition to find my Doomfall. I absolutely think I played right there. I was able to see what was going on. The place where I made my mistake was not grabbing my Eldritch Reborn. Because now we are likely at the point where we're just not going to be able to come back. Because he's drawn so many cards that he almost certainly has what he needs to win. Even if I find another Eldritch Reborn or Karn, he almost certainly has either another counterspell or a draw spell to get one. To say nothing of another Torrential Gearhole.
Keep up the pace.
That's fine. He's going to just go ahead and cast out the Bells Unlock. That's fine. He pretty much wasn't doing anything anyway. That now frees him up to be able to memory if he wants to. Although he's probably saving that. Oh, no. This is truly a nightmare. Get some land out of our deck. But at this point, he's very close to being able to ultimate. Having gone all the way back up from 2 with me drawing pretty much nothing but lands. Only good news is that I can sacrifice my Field of Ruin to kill his Search if he flips it. Oh, this is so unfortunate. Alright, Scepter Fairy, untaps lands, I draw another land, and I pass the turn. Woo! 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let him get his 1 activation. Or possibly he disallows, but he didn't disallow, so... He gets his 1 activation. Finds a Forsake the Worldly. Not the most beneficial card for this matchup. But at this point, there's really just not much I can do to win. I'm pretty well done here. Because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got a whole boatload of unknown cards. This Duress would have been really helpful earlier. But now it's pretty much just good game. Next turn he'll ultimate and he'll cast Memory and exile 7 of my cards. Well. Okay, well, not much to be done here. I guess we'll grab the Disallow. But, I mean, the Essence Scatter would have been just as decent of a target. But now he's going to exile 7 of our lands, which is going to, of course, be the Cabal Strongholds, probably the Spires of Orazca, and then
with each turn of the clock,
that'll be 3 more of our swamps, which gets us down to 8, 7. That's fine. So, yeah, we definitely lost this game to ourselves. 100%. I assume he's going to Memory here. But I mean, at this point, he's got 2 Essence Scatters. He's got a Torrential Gearhole. I mean, there's just no way to draw out of this. I guess we can just hope that he doesn't choose to do the right thing here, but I mean, it's just done. Okay. So we'll go ahead and grab it now, what we should have done before. And he'll certainly flash in. Maybe he might not. He might not because of the fact that I don't have an immediate target from it.
Enough.
Well, okay. He was fine with it. So he's just going to keep kind of picking away at me, but if I can draw something decent, I still have a shot, although highly unlikely at this point. At this point, I basically have to draw... Wow. He's just drawing all his Teferis.
I am not. We need to move.
Yeah, I can't give him a hard time for suboptimal play when I thoroughly punted away this game. There you go. And I don't think I could have drawn a worse 7 for this point in the game. Because there were cards I could have drawn here that could have allowed me to win. These are not them. So, yeah. Resolve. Go right ahead. I guess we'll go ahead and just, Vraska's Contempt. Because why not? I love how I'm still somehow running out of time despite clicking on Resolve immediately. So there's really not much I can do here to possibly win, and that is certainly not it. I guess I can take a look at their hand and see what they've got. Alright, he's got a Disallow, a Settle, a Torrential. I mean, everything's bad. I'm trying to think. I just think the game is done. Because even if I were to now draw another Torment, he's just going to be able to disallow it. So yeah, I think this game is done. I'll give him one more turn. I'll give myself one more draw to see what I draw. But I really can't think of what I could possibly draw that would get me out of this, especially with him ultimately eliminating all my lands. I mean, I'm down to 5 lands. 4 lands. Yeah, this game is officially done. And there we go. And hold on, let's be polite. Good game. And concede. Well, like I said, sometimes you lose to top decks, sometimes you lose to good plays. Opponent had good plays, and I had one massive punt. So let's try for game 3, see if we can do well. Coming up against Erlandior. Are we having our issue again? We'll keep that. Yes, we are. I wish I knew what was causing this. For those watching at home, it's looking great on my screen, but for some reason, it looks like every other game it is presenting oddly. So, I think at this point, I'm going to go ahead and Thematic Compass. Playing against zombies is actually pretty rough on this deck, because it's got a lot of elimination, and I can exile key cards, but I can't exile everything, and they've got a lot of pieces that can just bring it all right back. Attacks for 2. Here is my 3rd land. And I think we pass the turn here. We'll see what they play here as to whether we cast down or just grab another land. Moaning Wall. Interesting. Well, I guess technically that's a zombie. Alright, we'll let the attack go through. We'll grab ourselves another land, try to get closer to being able to transform this thing. And here is land number 4. So I can take out one of them. So I might as well just do that on their turn. I don't think I want to get down to 10. But let's see what they play. It may be a higher value target than just a random bear. Go to attacks. Attacks with both. Let's go ahead and cast down one of them. We'll go ahead and cast down the Diagraph Ghoul, so if they have reanimation points, then when it reanimates, it will come back tapped. Alright, and they had nothing. So we're at 5. I can Eldest Reborn, although I don't have a lot of really juicy targets right now. But I still think it's worth doing. So next turn, I'll have a swamp. I'll be able to grab another land. So I'll have my 7th land, so I'll be ready to transform Thematic Compass the turn after next. Or I can Bells Unlock. I think I just want to Bells Unlock. I mean, the thing about Thematic Compass that makes it so great is as soon as you can get it and 3 lands on the battlefield, you can almost guarantee a land drop every turn, which is so incredibly helpful. Alright, so Ammon Eternal. I probably just want to take it out, although it is going to shrink down to a 4/4. And then I can block it with my Bells Unlock. But if I kill it, then I can reanimate it. Yeah, I think I want to kill it. So this allows me next turn to be able to reanimate it, which it's a lot juicier of a target than a random 2/2. Okay, Marauding Bone Slasher. We'll go ahead and grab another land from our deck. Thank you. And now we will get back the Ammon Eternal. And we will play our 7th land, which will allow that to flip. And we will play Bells Unlock. Grabs his Karn, Vraska's Contempt, and a Doomfall. Not bad. Now, if something really threatening comes out, I can still cast it down, which is always nice. Doom Dissenter is not something particularly threatening, although it does shrink down my Ammon Eternal. And let's go ahead and cast down the Bone Slasher. Oh, well, this is just mean. I mean, yeah, he's able to get a 1/1, but that's still pretty nice. Well, 2/2. So he'll certainly block here, the Ammon Eternal. No? Alright, it becomes a 5/5 again. And let's go ahead and see what he's got going on in his hand. Alright, he's got 3 lands. Lots of stuff he can't really cast right now. Liliana Untouched by Death is probably the closest to being cast, so let's grab that. The only thing that's really a threat, even though I do have Vraska's Contempt in hand. And there we go. Alright, well that was a little more redeeming. Claim my prize. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and try resetting again to see if I can get this taken care of.